Hello, everybody, and welcome to 3 Words, a podcast about simple and yet strategic choices that can transform your life and help you become the best version of yourself. I am your host, Dr. Michael Brown, and I'm a business consultant and life coach, and I have found and seen over and over and over again the power of choices among my family, my friends, my colleagues, my clients, the reality that every moment matters, that each choice counts, and that more can happen in 1 minute of intentionality than can happen in an entire month when we fail to make choices that are positive and powerful. I'm really pleased to have Casey Greenawalt here with me, a dear friend, a part of our DMB coaching team, and a part of our coaching community. You are one of the most fantastic young men I've ever met, as well as one of the most dynamic speakers, which is why you're a part of our team. And I'm really excited about these particular 3 words, and I think we're going to have a great conversation with the listeners. But the 3 words for today are...
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. Our 3 words for today are do it now.
Do it now, which again just resonates deeply within my soul, because my favorite conversation I like to have is about choices.
Yes.
Choices, and better choices. And the reason I say that is there's really only 4 kinds of choices that exist in the world.
Yep.
All choices fit within one of 4 categories. Choices to start something, choices to stop something, choices to sustain something, so something that's really positive that we want to continue to do, or even the choice to stall. Now, sometimes the choice to stall is an excuse for the reality that we're thinking of we're going to stop.
Sure.
But sometimes we do need to hit pause on certain things in our life. So to start something positive, to stop something negative, to sustain something that's really great in my life, or to stall, or to hit pause. Which is why I love this conversation about do it now. Because whether it's start, stop, sustain, or stall, when we say, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
When we say, I'll start tomorrow, what that usually means, if we're honest, never.
Never. Yes, you're 100% correct. I feel like more often than not, when we start to plan out the choices we're going to make, maybe tomorrow, next week, I'm guilty of this. I identify an area in my life that I would like to see a change in. I want to become the better version of myself in a certain area of life. And so I say, okay, here's the 4 things I need to do tomorrow, or next week, or maybe next weekend.
January 1st.
Yeah, right, January 1st. New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
But instead of just saying, I'm going to go for that run right now.
So, again, Casey, why would anyone, and me included, I'm guilty of this, why would anyone postpone today, a choice today, that would bring such positive results in my life? We postpone the positive till tomorrow. And I was thinking about this because I like to think about root issues and at the very core of what drives our behaviors, which is beliefs.
Totally.
It's that we believe that the do it now positive choices means, I'm going to have to suffer something today to experience something positive tomorrow. But the reality is most of the positive choices that we're projecting out and predicting will take place a year or 2 from now, they actually, if they are applied right now, in this moment, in this hour, would actually bring about positive results today and tomorrow, and would fuel and would literally write our legacy of who we will be at the end of our lives.
Absolutely. We joked off camera. I asked, have you ever seen the show How I Met Your Mother? And
I haven't.
So it's a popular show, and there's this episode, and they use this idea and this phrase of letting the future, Ted was the character, let the future Michael worry about that problem. So don't take care of it now. Don't do it now. Instead, let the future self, your future self, worry about it. And we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
The future self and your current self, they're the same person.
Yeah.
And so there's not this disconnect there. And so if you choose not to do something now, the future self, which is still you, is going to pay for that tomorrow. And I think
absolutely
doing it now solves
And there's
that.
also a belief at the very root of that, and the belief goes something like this, that I'm actually guaranteed tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, the fact that I even might possibly even have a tomorrow.
Right. There might not be a future Michael.
Is a presumption. So knowing that, and even for me, as a young boy, losing my mom at 36 years old.
Yeah.
To stage 4 ovarian cancer. It really, for me, just was a wake-up call to realize there's no promise of tomorrow. So the choices that I can make today that are positive, make them today. And even if I can be so vulnerable, my mother, at the end of her life, she sat down with my brother and I, and she began to share some regrets of her life. And some things that she said, I wish I would have done differently. I even have a letter from her where she talks about all the different things she would have done differently and how proud she is and so forth. And she even shared in that card, in that letter, that I always thought I had tomorrow. That I always thought I had another day to do it now. To treat people differently, to carve out a life that she wanted. I mean, I want to get really practical with these things because I love practicalities, but let's talk about relationships.
Totally.
I love to mentor particularly young professional men. And I have asked in a variety of situations when I've spoken, how many of you, raise your hand if any of you have ever waited so long to ask out that romantic interest that by the time you decided to do it, they were already dating someone else.
No, that's got to be the worst.
Casey, have you ever done that before?
I cannot say I have.
Oh, good.
I'm pretty bold in my asks.
Well, and I love that. It's one of the reasons you're here today and on my team. But it's true. You think about all these things that we're waiting on. That's a perfect example. Or fitness.
Totally. Yes.
How often we say,
I'll work out next week. I'll work out tomorrow. I'll hit the gym tomorrow. It's just like,
or January 1st, I'm going to start this new beginning.
Yes.
In fact, I say that New Year's resolutions are worthless. If you really want to make a resolution, start it December 20th. Because if you can get from December 20th to December 31st in any New Year's resolution over the holidays, particularly if it's food related or fitness related, you're going to stick with it. This magical date or this magical moment, and again, it always goes back to this idea when we start projecting dates or tomorrow, we think that we're going to have the tenacity or the persistence or even the resolve to do something tomorrow that we didn't do today. Like, why not live it today? But the biggest thing, I'm a fitness coach in a variety of ways with a lot of middle-aged to upper-aged, older individuals who will say to me, man, I just got to get back into shape, but I just don't have time. Or I don't have strength. Or I don't have health to do that. And I say, you know what? Fair enough. Tomorrow, do one push-up. In fact, don't even wait till tomorrow. Before you go to bed tonight.
Do it now.
Or even right here as we're having this conversation. Let's together do one push-up.
All right, let's do it.
And I was, we'll be off the camera.
Right.
If indeed, and I say, can you do one push-up? And they're always like, well, of course I can. And I said, that's all I'm going to ask you to do, is to do one push-up today. And then tomorrow, do 2. And the next day, do 3. And I said, I want you never, ever to think about working out again. All I want you to think about is doing this one thing now, which is one push-up added by one push-up by one push-up every day. And here's what happens 9 times out of 10, is that this individual comes back to me a week or 2 or 3 weeks from now or a month from now after 30 push-ups and says, I've been feeling a lot better. I think today I'm actually going to take a brisk walk around the block. I'm going to add a little run to my walk. And what's happening is they actually like the feeling of feeling physically fit and feeling healthy. And obviously our physical bodies are the only thing that keeps us here on this earth and in this conversation here today. So why would we not make an investment now in the only body that keeps us here and now on this planet? I shared this in a couple different environments. We're such a crazy culture, and that we spend the first 60 years of our life ignoring our health to make money, and then spend the last 20 years of our life spending all our money to somehow gain back our health. And the reason we do that is because we fail to connect today's choices, the ability to do it now, to tomorrow's reality.
That's 100% true. 100% true. I think too, there's something to the simplicity of this, of doing it now. I think you said it earlier. We do make it more complicated than it needs to be. It's not easy. It's hard.
Yes, it is
and
hard.
Making that choice in that moment to go on that run, to eat a healthy lunch, to make that phone call, whatever. Maybe we were talking off camera a little bit too. And I think sometimes when we have an apology to make to somebody, our relationships, to help mend that relationship, whether it's with a parent, a coworker, a friend, we wait maybe till the next time we see them, and then when we see them, we don't have the courage to go up and apologize, so we wait again. Just make a phone call. Just do it now. Just call them and say, I'm sorry.
And when we don't do it now, we're basically saying we would exchange 3 weeks potentially until we see them of close relationship.
Continuing to pull apart, right?
we will exchange that because we don't want to, in the moment, make the difficult choice and make the hard choice.
And it's hard. It's hard.
We are a culture, Casey, of postponers. We are a culture of procrastinators. And it really comes down to the fact that we don't believe in the deepest part of who we are that the choices we're making today are actually forging the legacy tomorrow. In fact, I like to say, I love talking about legacy. I love thinking about who I'm going to be at the end of my life. I actually have a dream and a vision of climbing trees of my grandkids at 85 years old. And the reason I have that, but it's a crazy dream because people will say, that's never happened, I've never seen anyone do that. But I also am very aware with that picture in my mind, that perspective in my mind, I have to do this thing now. I have to
Yeah.
choose food that's fuel.
Yeah.
I have to make sure I have good sleep rhythms. I need to make sure that my body is functioning at full capacity, because if I let it slide even a day, because here's the deal. Coasting is always backward.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes.
Anytime you hit coast or cruise control in your life, it's a backslide.
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
never just staying where you are. You literally are sliding backwards.
Always. Always. That's so true.
So I think we both agree, Casey, even in this dynamic conversation that we've had together, that the question really is, why wait?
Why? Yeah.
Why
wait?
wait?
Yeah.
Why wait to live out and to accomplish the most positive choices in our life and to become the best version of
Yeah.
ourselves? Why wait? There's
Yeah.
no guarantee of tomorrow.
Yep.
Why
Yeah.
wait? So I think together, I think we would agree, and I've seen this in your life, and I hope that you've seen this in my life,
Yeah.
and we would encourage all of our listeners, do it now.
Yeah. I think you said something earlier that I'm painting
Please.
a picture of where you want to be, talking about
Yeah.
being 80 and climbing in a tree. And that's a vision you've given yourself. So in those moments when you're trying to do it now, when you think about this is a simple choice, but it's a hard choice, but I'm going to make this hard choice because I know what I want. I'm beginning with the end in mind. I think that makes such a difference in those moments when we're trying to make those tough decisions.
Because you just said it.
Yeah.
Perspective
Yes. That's good. Yes.
is everything.
Yes.
And it is the fuel
Absolutely.
for our 3 words for today.
Yep.
Do it now.